back in. Earnhardt Stahl back into the battle. Big pass. From a not very good. Up front, Mark Martin has caught Jeff Bodine. Had a look underneath him for the lead.
Muffin, you okay out there? You think it's going to be all right? Earl, can you tell if it's pushed down any on the right front? Yeah, I got, yeah. Test the damage as best you can. Let's try to keep it on this lap, guys. This is going to hurt. God damn.
Fifth is Kyle Petty. Sixth is Jeff Gordon. Seventh is Bill Elliott. Darrell Waltrip runs in the 8th position. Ted Musgrave is 9th. And Steve Grissom rounds up the top 10.
Good run for Grissom here today. He's really doing a good job. Started 12th, already moved up a couple spots.
Single file here, the field about 3 or 4 car lengths apart. As things are now pretty much single file. We'll be right back to the Rock after this. All right, buddy. Buddy, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, crank on that knob.
I'm sorry about the first part there. I didn't hear anything. I didn't know what was going on.
Wonder if that's a tire problem. Bodine, he's jumped out to a big lead, you know, like Presley did yesterday.
Yeah. Well, or maybe he decided to pedal it.
Could be.
Anybody near Bodine's pit?
Good question for the pit guys.
Yeah, those guys in the pits, they do a great job.
That's not a race. Ernie Irvin's going to go right on by. He's down low.
Yeah.
Here, race for third.
Race for third now.
200 mile an hour mountain. Oh, he took a breath. I got fumble mouth. I got the worst case of fumble mouth today I've had in 5 years.
Here we go. I do. I don't believe it. Well, I can tell what I was in moaning air. I thought, that's scary.
Welcome back to the Rock. 12 laps complete, all under green. Mark Martin has stepped away from the field. Ernie Irvin is second. Jeff Bodine battling, and Rusty Wallace is on the move. Wallace is now up to 13th position. Just went past Bobby Hamilton and Morgan Shepherd. And here he comes up on Steve Grissom's number 29 car. Pass for third place, though. Kyle Petty underneath Jeff Bodine.
Yeah, looks like Jeff's car's backing up a little bit. He jumped off to a big lead there. He may be just soft pedaling it, but he's falling back through the field right now.
This is a very familiar sight here to see Kyle Petty dominate down on the bottom part of the racetrack. I think they found something a couple of years ago in test program down here that's made that car very, very good in the race.
As we said at the top of the show, if you watch the Daytona 500, that is no harbinger of the season to come. This is a whole different ball game. No restrictor plate motors. A lot more concentration on chassis. Jeff Bodine slides up the racetrack yet again. Let's go to Randy Pemberton, who is in Bodine's pit.
Well, Mike, I asked Sigmund to Paul Andrews, asked if he said anything. He said nothing over the radio. You know, there could be two things. First of all, we have to be concerned, how long will the Hoosier tires last? Will they go 30 laps? Will they go 50 laps? Some teams did not get a good run on them in practice. About 50 laps is as long as any run was made during practice, but it wasn't consecutive laps. They were in and out of the garage area. So he could be actually taking his time right now. Once they get those tires off, they'll check the depth meter, find out how much tread is on them, find out the build-up, and then they'll see where they go from there. So he could be just taking it easy right now.
Jeff gives up the 6th spot there to Bill Elliott, the Junior Johnson Budweiser Ford, as they come off turn 2 and down the backstretch. Bodine's been paying a lot of attention to his bobsleds, the Bodine bobsleds, chassis dynamics designed for the U.S. team. In fact, he knew more than CBS did about where the sleds were in the competition when we were at Daytona.
You see Jeff Gordon there following the 26th car. Yesterday in the last practice, Brett Bodine had an accident with his car, and they worked on it right up to race time.
And you see Sterling Marlin in the Kodak car, who said at the top of the show that they had made a lot of changes on that car after practice.
Boy, it looks like they paid off, Mike. He's coming up through the field. He's got Dale Earnhardt right behind him. They started, I believe, 19th and 21st. They're already up well into the top 15, knocking on the door of the top 10. Those two cars are hooked up right now.
13th place now for Sterling Marlin behind Morgan Shepherd's Citgo Ford, and there's Earnhardt in the Goodwrench Chevy.
You notice the 3-car then coming through the middle part of the corner. The back end seems to be switching around just a little bit.
You know, that's the way Dale Earnhardt likes it. He doesn't like those cars that push. He likes that back end to hang out a little bit.
Let's go up to 5th place. Quite a knot of cars led by Brett Bodine and the Quaker State Ford, Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Chevy, Budweiser Ford, and Bill Elliott. Then a bit of a gap before Jeff Bodine, Darrell Waltrip, and Ted Musgrave.
Looks like the damage that Bodine suffered in the crash yesterday in practice is not too bad. The car's working really good right now.
You see Bill Elliott moving up on the 24 car, Jeff Gordon there. That car is really working well. It wouldn't surprise me if that guy would end up in Victory Circle today.
Here or anywhere.
Anywhere, you're right.
Brett Bodine in 4th. Gordon 5th. Elliott 6th. Jeff Bodine 7th. Waltrip 8th. That's Darrell. Ted Musgrave 9th. And this man 10th, Rusty Wallace.
On the move. How often have we seen that? We saw it a lot here last year, didn't we? Of course, he dominated in the Pontiac. I asked him earlier this week if there was much difference here on a short track or a shorter racetrack than running that Ford product. He said none at all. He said, in fact, the Ford keeps pulling all the way down the straightaway. He said, I can still feel the car pulling as I'm decelerating to go into the corner. He likes that Ford.
Here's Musgrave on the bottom of the racetrack in the Family Channel Ford. Jack Roush making the move, and Wallace on the track right behind him underneath Jeff Bodine.
Woo, you talk about a loose car now. That 16's all over the racetrack.
Being pinched down there on the inside makes it worse, buddy, because you have to turn that wheel so much more.
A lot of people don't realize there's a lot of drafts on this racetrack. You know, you hear people talk about the draft that goes on and stuff, but there's a lot of drafts on this racetrack. And when you go under a car going in the corner, it'll pull back in right down with it.
Musgrave diamonds the track around Billy Standridge as they chase down these two cars, Jeff Gordon and Darrell Waltrip. Now he's going to go after Musgrave.
Yeah, like I said, Rusty's got that thing really working well on the bottom, and with Musgrave's car being a little loose, he had to move up the racetrack. He didn't want to contest Rusty at this point in the game.
You know, you got to love a race car when you give it a name, and Rusty's got a name for this car. It's one of his very special cars. He won a lot of races in that car.
Midnight, he calls it. Waltrip moving up a spot.
Like DW's Hoosier tires are working pretty well. He's marching right on up toward the front.
You know, we talked to Darrell during the race yesterday, and he was real concerned that he might not be able to go the distance because he said he was really weak. He's had a bout with a kidney problem this week, and he's hospitalized for about 4 days there.
He's not the only member of that team to do some sheep time. Barry Dodson had knee surgery this week. And there is Wallace going underneath Jeff Gordon.
Well, that looked pretty easy. Yeah.
Look how well that car moves right off the turn, buddy. That thing is really getting a bite.
That's been a lot of the secret of Wallace's success here, the way that car just jumps off the corner here at Rockingham. Miller Genuine Draft Ford this season.
Wow.
I think Darrell just decided, well, let's let that guy go on by for right now. I don't want to race him this early in the race.
And Wallace moves up to 6th. Sterling Marlin also moving up. He's just gone by Jeff Bodine, and Kenny Schrader comes into the picture in the Kodiak Chevy. Let's check with Randy Pemberton.
Well, Jeff Bodine has come over the radio. He would like to drop a couple of pounds of air to get a little bit more bite in the car off that right rear. He did come over the radio finally and complain that the car was a little loose. So they're working on the Hoosier tires. You know, they haven't had a chance to run them yet this year. This is the first time out for them. Last week they pulled out at Daytona. So, you know, it'll take a little work here early on. They're going to drop a little air pressure, and hopefully that'll cure the problem for Jeff Bodine.
Remember, the Bodine qualified on Hoosiers at Daytona. Ran them in the 125-mile qualifier, but then, like all the other Hoosier drivers, did go to Goodyear's for the race on Sunday. Up front, Mark Martin has led 8 of the 16 races he has started here at Rockingham. He just put a lap on Dave Marcus in the Terramite Construction Chevrolet. Look out the back of Mark Martin's car.
I don't see anybody.
Don't see anybody out the front either.
This car's he's lapping.
You see the third car back here is Ernie Irvin just coming in the sight there, but he's quite a ways back.
Martin pulling up on Wally Dallenbach in the STP Pontiac.
You know, when a car gets hooked up like this early, Mike, it really gets, look how loose Wally got there when Jeff pulled up on it, just like Buddy was saying, took the air off his puller. But when a car gets hooked up like Mark early and your car's a little bit off, you can get lapped in no time. I mean, we've only run 30 laps, and that's a pretty good race car. He's already put a lap down.
That's true. 30 laps complete at Rockingham. Mark Martin, what did your team learn from these past few title chases?
No, I don't. I think that luck has more to do with it than people realize, and I don't think that we'll have a chance to be a contender if we have a lot of bad luck. And if we don't have a lot of bad luck and we run as good as we should, then we should be a contender, and that's basically it.
Yeah, I did hear you. That was my miss. That's make a note. Let's make a note for Tuesday. We need to. We really need to spin through those if we can on Sunday morning. No, my fault.
North Bodine is all over the racetrack.
Yeah, he's about to be all over.
Jeff Gordon's really pedaling the rear.
Trickle.
Hey, Patty. Okay.
Need to what? Oh, okay. Okay.
After 33 laps, Mark Martin leads here at Rockingham. Ernie Irvin in second. Kyle Petty, Bill Elliott, Rusty Wallace. That's your top 5. Martin has just put a lap on Todd Bodine, and Butch Mock's factory stores Thunderbird. Bodine bounced off the backstretch wall, but it stayed out on the racetrack. Rusty Wallace moves up on Bill Elliott. And let's go to Wallace.
We coming to pit road this time.
That thing will not stay down on the bottom of the racetrack. That's why you see everybody moving by to the inside. A couple of laps ago, really got out of control. He's going to have to do something pretty quick.
Buddy, when a car gets in that shape like that, is it easy to overdrive it to try to overcompensate?
Yeah, and that just makes it that much worse. I mean, the harder you try, the more it gets out of shape, and then all of a sudden you make the tires hot and you can't drive it at all.
Also, perhaps a problem on the Steve Grissom car. He had been in the top 10 just 25 laps ago, and now Grissom has gone a lap down to the race leader.
That's a nice shot there. Makes me a little homesick.
I'll bet. Front bumper cam from Lake Speed, the Ford Quality Care Thunderbird.
There you see my brother Dale Jarrett in the green and black car number 18 moving up. He started 41st. He's moved up into about the top 25 now. Looks like the car's hooked up. If he can stay in the lead lap, I think he might be a factor. That car's really getting around the racetrack well.
But I think you hit it, Glenn. Staying on the lead lap here, but he is going to be a tough chore the way Mark Martin is